If you've seen any of my lunar paste videos, you know that I am a big fan. So you can imagine my excitement when I heard that Simon Hurley for Ranger has released a whole set of neon lunar pastes. As a fan of bright colors, I could not wait to get my hands on these. So let's start by swatching out the colors that you can get in the Simon Hurley for Ranger neon lunar paste line. There are 7 amazing bright colors that are available in the neon lunar paste line. So what I like to do is swatch each of them out on both white cardstock and black cardstock, and we'll do that in just a second. But just look at that texture and that shine. It is absolutely beautiful, especially these bright colors. I just adore them. So when I'm swatching out lunar paste, I like to do a palette knife swipe. I'm using the paste tool set from Simon Hurley, and I just put a little bit down on each of the tags that I've cut out. You can use anything to swatch. You could use an entire piece of paper. I like to use tags to put them on a ring. And then I like to use a ink blender of some sort. I like to use either the mini foam round or the domed foam to blend out the color to see what that looks like, because it's going to be slightly different when you have the thicker application with the knife as opposed to a thinner application with that blender. So here's voltage. Oh my gosh, can you not even believe that? It looks like a highlighter. That's how neon and amazing it is. These colors are going to add so much fun to cards. So here is Dart Frog, a really, really amazing green. It is just, it pops off both the white and the black cardstock. This is No Chill. I don't know if you know, but blue is one of my favorite colors. So I really liked that there was a blue added to the Lunar Paste collection. I have all the blues and I love them all, but this one really has my heart. It's such a bright, happy blue. And this is Mood Ring. So here are all the colors swatched out. And you can see that although all these colors are represented already in lunar paste, the brightness of the neon lunar paste is something that is not yet available in the line. So these add such a fun aspect to the lunar paste collection. Now let's use those new neon lunar pastes to make some backgrounds and other elements for cards. One of my absolute favorite ways to use lunar paste is to create a metallic or shiny background, and I like starting with a colorful cardstock. So starting with something that's pretty close to the No Chill neon lunar paste, it's a little bit lighter. That just makes it a lot easier to coverage the entire A2 panel so that I can decide later what I want to do with it. And look at all of that shine, and yes, this is definitely my favorite color. I absolutely love it. Another way that is so much fun to use lunar paste is to use it over a stencil. Now, since there's an entire rainbow of neon lunar paste available, I am creating little blobs of lunar paste on the left-hand side of this stencil. The stencil is called Happy Heart Stencils, and it's a duo stencil set. I'm only using one today. Then I'll take the scraper and go from left to right and just cover up that entire stencil with that neon lunar paste. I had extra on the scraper, so I added some to a white piece of cardstock to make a fun rainbow background as well. Now I'll just peel off the Spellbinders tape. The reason that I put the tape down is so that I wouldn't get a ton of lunar paste on the grip mat that I'm using from Waffle Flower. You can definitely clean it off. Just make sure you get it fast before it dries, but this makes it just a little bit easier. There's not quite as much to clean up. And check out those rainbow hearts and this rainbow swipe background. Now let's put these neon elements and backgrounds together to make some fun and bright cards. I placed the No Chill background that I created into the GeoQuilt 3D embossing folder from Simon Hurley and Spellbinders, and check out that shine with that embossed design. I love it so much. Now I'm using Butterfly Kisses to create a butterfly. This is another Simon Hurley stamp and die set, and it is a layering set. So I stamped the first layer, which was that orange of the inside, and now I'm stamping the outline around it. Yes, I could have gone the other way, but I wanted to make sure that the orange color was completely crisp and clear, and then the black was crisp and clear as well. I'll put the little butterfly body in a different color. I'm using Rosy Cheeks here, and I did fill in a couple of spots that I had missed before. Now I'll take the dies and hold them in place with some tape and run it through my die cut machine. I'm using a stump that I would normally use to blend pencils in order to pick up some of the neon lunar paste and place it in some of the detail areas of this butterfly. Now, the reason that I decided to do this was because, well, I haven't used this stump very much, so it's a small, thinner stump. But the other thing is you can sand these stumps down, so it's okay if some of the lunar paste dries on it because you'll just be able to sand it away. Now I have some tape runner from Spellbinders. I've cut the panel down to 4 by 5 1/4 so I can mat it on some orange cardstock, pop up the butterfly, and then a sentiment from that same Butterfly Kisses stamp set. And I just love this new color, no chill. I'll be using it all the time. For the heart stenciled background, I will cut down that panel once again to 4 by 5 1/4. There was a little bit of room at the top anyway, and I'm not really losing any of the colors when I cut it down. This little panda is from the Big Hugs bundle. There are stamps and dies available. There's also plenty of sentiments that go with this. This one says, I love you. I thought that was perfect for that heart background. So I'll trim that I love you down to kind of a thick sentiment strip. And once that's done, I'll cut out the panda with dies, and then I'll add some tape runner to the back of the panel and place it on an A2 white cardstock. Once that's done, I can use some foam squares to pop up the panda kind of right in the middle of the card. I think this little panda is so cute, and I love that the arms are outstretched for a hug. I'll place the sentiment right at the bottom there, and look at all the shine and all those colors of the rainbow in the neon line. I am super excited, of course, about the rainbows. These balloons are from the Birthday Basics Stamps and Dies collection. There is a stamp. I decided to just use the die and cut out 4 of the balloons, but I'll use 2 sentiments from the stamp set and stamp that right in the middle of an A2 piece of white cardstock. Then I'll use some foam squares and pop up the 4 balloons that I cut out of that rainbow swipe background that I created. So that's another way to use lunar paste, is just to swipe it on some cardstock, wait till it dries, and then die cut it out. You could die cut words this way. I think balloons are really fun. There's probably a million things that you could die cut out that you can still recognize the shape even without the stamp. And then I just decided to draw some strings and use that stump once again to fill in a little area that I had accidentally left white on the balloon. Again, lots of shine and beautiful color from these new neon lunar pastes. As a child of the 80s, I'm a huge fan of these neon lunar pastes, but I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comments below. As always, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. If you've should have it facing the right way. Doesn't really make any sense either. A huge fan of bright colors as well as a huge fan of let's just start.